Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Imalo Agbogun say the new commissioner of police for Edo State and the people wey dey investigate dey fight the kpai wey dey happen for Obazagbon dey use the case take dey make money. This na the message wey dey send give Edo people. Make I leave you, make you hear from Imalo Agbogun.
The actual culprits have not actually been arrested. But while investigation was taking place, what the IPOs did was to use the avenue of the arrest to extort them money. The sum of 350,000 was collected in 3 different trenches. I will throw and give a breakdown to it. The sum of 200,000 was given to the IPO by Joshua Edo's wife on the instruction of the IPO demanding it from Joshua Edo that he will be released. The sum of 100,000 was collected from Odion and Kennedy Ehio, who transferred the money through a POS to be given to the IPO. The sum of 50,000 was part of the monies that was incidented on Joshua Edo upon his detention, and the IPO collected 50,000 naira from that money from Joshua Edo, saying that he will assist them in the investigation. Why am I preaching for Joshua Edo, despite the fact that a lot of people have said certain things about his person that sounds to be negative? One would agree to say, why would Emmanuel Agbogun stand with Joshua Edo? Is it that he has been paid money? No. As I speak to you, not a farthing of Joshua Edo's money had been given to me. But I am doing this, God knows, God sees my heart. I am doing this because of Azuka Sunday. Odion Igbinadolo. First Society might have deviated from his reasoning, but I pray God, gives him a brain to rethink. Odion Igbinadolo, Isaac Ogbeide, who these young men who are in possession of over 40 AK-47s, over 40 AK-47 in Obagi Nebosa, in Okoma community, and they are using these guns to create fear and sell lands among the populace there. Now, what happened on the 28th of January, of February, we shock everybody. Yes. A warm good afternoon, good evening, good day to you all, my conscious Edo people. I remain no other person than yours, noble right activist, comrade Agbogun Emmanuel. And if you're just joining me live, I want to sincerely apologize for coming late. It's as a result of busy engagements of the day. I proposed to be here by 12 this afternoon, but I think I am 6 hours behind before scheduled time. I'll be after scheduled time. So I want to sincerely apologize to my conscious followers and patriotic Edo people across the globe. This very evening, I decided to bring this matter forward so that the police authority, in the person of the Inspector General of Police, the Chairman of the Police Service Commission, DIG Algongo, retired, and the Commissioner of Police Edo State, and all other concerned stakeholders across the country, including the Office of the National Security Advisor, the NSA. It is becoming very worrisome, very, very worrisome that lawlessness and killings and unlawful possession of firearms and light and small arm populations are fast growing in our Benin communities, developing communities as results to sales of land. And as a young man, I have over the years stood to ensure that we condemn whatever sense of lawlessness that has greeted these vices, anti-vices that have damaged the fabrics of our state in Edo, particularly Benin City. A lot of crimes happen, but when you see organized and willful crime, it is bound on members of the society to immediately condemn, report, and join forces with relevant authority to ensure that such crime is nipped on the bud. This very afternoon, I have over the days watched when the incident happened. I called other victims, protested alongside with them to the state command, protested alongside to the government house to also submit our displeasure and dissatisfaction with the continued killing. If you recently observe what happened in a couple of days, one Efe Obede was seen to be murdered in Obazagbon community. And if you have been following the trend of my social media broadcasts and also protests, I have over the time named the persons who are orchestrating this unholy act of killing, creating of fear, forceful acquisition of land, and also damaging the fabrics and the image of our society in the vices of killing. Before I go into the issue of Obazagbon, let me also remind the police authority and the police service commission that sometime around November, I think 27th and 3rd last year, a police officer serving with the Zone 5 police authority was shot at by these same hoodlums. As I speak to you, his testis is no longer functional for him. He's also a serving police officer. He has been a victim of this brutish and criminal attack on Edo people by a few and microscopic view of persons who believe that the proceeds of their crime, monies they make from their crime, can be used to pocket the police. So I would stop at that for now and go into the core issue that I want to draw the attention of all relevant authorities around the police to take note of. It pained me that on the 28th of February, Obazagbon community was attacked. Some persons were robbed, houses were robbed. One Efe who is a deaf and dumb was also murdered in the process of these attacks. And it pained me that while such an attack took place, members of the society, particularly some few leaders of the civil society, came out and organized peaceful protests demanding that those persons who killed and orchestrated that crime be arrested, prosecuted, and made to face the law. But what has pained me is that in all of this, the commissioner of police, who happened to be a mother and who happened to be a daughter of Edo, have shown a high level of unprofessionalism. As somebody who have worked within the periphery of the organized civil society, and somebody who have also engaged in advocacy and has also interviewed series of commissioners of police, assistant inspector general of police, inspector general of police, deputy inspector general of police. And I'm very happy today that both the IG, I have had the privilege of interviewing him while he was DIG for CID on this similar matter. Both the DIG retired, who is the chairman of the police commission, he knows me very well. I have also had the opportunity of interviewing him on a similar matter like this when he was AIG Zone 5 Edo State. And currently the commissioner of police, I have also interfaced with her at some level when she was DC Zone 5 in a similar nature matter of this kind. So they will not say, or she will not say she was not properly briefed. I would want to go into details, having said all of this. On the 28th day of February, this attack took place in Obazagbon. Why this attack took place, persons who they charged for these offenses are by name Obayiwana Happy, 25 years old, Chidera Ume, 21 years old, Uwangwo Everest, 52 years old, Joshua Edo, male, 50 years old, Simeon Benjamin, no age was written, Odion Adaboyi, 43 years old, Kennedy Oho, 42 years old, and Osayi Adebonyi, also 41 years old. Now, in all of these persons that was seen to be charged for these murder cases, it pained me that the actual culprits have not actually been arrested. But while investigation was taking place, what the IPOs did was to use the avenue of the arrest to extort them money. The sum of 350,000 was collected in 3 different trenches. I will throw and give a breakdown to it. The sum of 200,000 was given to the IPO by Joshua Edo's wife on the instruction of the IPO demanding it from Joshua Edo that he will be released. The sum of 100,000 was collected from Odion and Kennedy Ehill, who transferred the money through a POS to be given to the IPO. The sum of 50,000 was part of the monies that was incidented on Joshua Edo upon his detention, and the IPO collected 50,000 naira from that money from Joshua Edo, saying that he will assist them in the investigation. Why am I preaching for Joshua Edo, despite the fact that a lot of people have said certain things about his person that sounds to be negative? One would agree to say, why would Emmanuel Aibogun stand with Joshua Edo? Is it that he has been paid money? No. As I speak to you, not a farthing of Joshua Edo's money had been given to me. But I am doing this, God knows, God sees my heart. I am doing this because of Azuka Sunday. Odion Igbinadolo. First Society might have deviated from his reasoning, but I pray God, gives him a brain to rethink. Odion Igbinadolo, Isaac Ogbeide, who these young men who are in possession of over 40 AK-47s, over 40 AK-47 in Obagi Nebusa, in Okoma community, and they are using these guns to create fear and sell lands among the populace there. Now, what happened on the 28th of January, of February, we shock everybody. The current Odion way of Obazagbon, who wants to go ahead to ensure that he removes Joshua Edo from office because he feels he's not comfortable. He wants to, accommodate some of his children to also enjoy the wealth of the community, which I don't see anything for you to want to remove somebody from office. It's not a lawless activity, but when you go about it in a lawful way, that's when it becomes a crime. Now, what did they do? They went in solicitation for assistance through one CBN, one Emopai, who is popularly known as CBN, who has a lot of boys, who groom a lot of boys that have been fighting this Okoma, Amagba crisis. They also went as far as pinching tent with Obagi because they wanted to, out Amagba people from that part of town. So they joined forces. Now, what do? They promote this kind of guerrilla warfare. If you are fighting in Amagba, or if you are fighting in Obagi Nebusa, they will run to Okoma to take cover. If the police come to arrest them, they will run into Okoma or run into Obaeti or run into Obazagbon now as it is. What are they doing? These guys have AK-47. All their victims, particularly the likes of Odion Igbinadolo, who was shot on the 10th of November 2023, is alive. He survived that shot because the police who were at that scene rescued him and took him to the hospital. Because of the specialist hospital, he was able to get enough care and he survived. He's hale and hearty. I would be hosting him on this program to also speak any moment from this after this broadcast. Now, what transpired is that these Obagi Nebusa people are in possession, and Okoma in possession of a lot of AK-47. So for them to remove Joshua from office because they know that Joshua is supporting and is a loyal boy to Ibu Amaba, what did they do? They went as far as ensuring that they joined forces with the current Odion Way and his children from Obazagbon to invade Joshua's residence, loot, put the house ablaze. Now, after they looted Joshua's house and put the house ablaze, they proceeded to other persons who they see as loyalists to Joshua. They rob both the tenants in the house, they rob both the owner's house, the occupants with the areas where he's staying, various of those houses. I'll be showing you all of those videos as time goes on now. They robbed all those houses. After they robbed them, they now also proceeded, to robbing some supermarkets and, area stop where these workmen, these people, the northerners who always come to do minimal jobs like bricklayer, molder, truck pushing, and all that. They went there, robbed, took POSs and all that. Now, in all of this, the DPO, who is the first point of call, was very much aware of the incident. You knew what transpired in the incident. But to my very surprise, the persons who ought to be complainants are now the ones in prison custody and who are facing charges for how many count charge? They are facing 7 count charges of conspiracy, murder, arson, unlawful possession of firearms, promoting native war, and felony and all that. They are here in prison. Whereas these persons has raised an issue of alibi, that they were not even in the community on that said day when this thing occurred, that they were in faraway Abuja to make a case against the intentions of this particular act by the Odionwe. Now, while this incident occurred, they were not in Benin. They came back and they were invited by the police. They went, they were detained, and currently in prison custody. Now, when you look at the charge in which the police use in charging them to court, to prison, you you will baffle, because if you are accusing these people of murder, it should go a long way, to show who alleges must prove. It will go a long way to show how they got involved in the murder, whereas they were not there. This has become a trend in Edo, in which when the police decide to support one faction, the other faction that they are not supporting, if there's a case of murder or arson that has been established, they will pack everybody within that faction to create fear and believe that they are the victims or they are the criminals. They will charge them to court. I, my very self, have also been charged to court for murder. Whereas on that said issue, I was not even in Edo State. I was in faraway Port Harcourt with my family. I have also been charged for murder in faraway while I was in Abuja. I have also been reported to have killed somebody in Benin on the said day when I was interviewing the immediate past DIG. I was accused of killing somebody, whereas I was not in Benin. The police invited me. I went. I gave them all the instances. I showed them my alibi and told them to investigate. Thereafter, after proper and continuous investigation, they found out that all the allegations put before us were not true. But it took me, because of the wealth of experience that I have and the knowledge I know that God has endowed me with, to be able to explain myself. Now, a lot of these young guys who are in the prison or who have been arrested now, I doubt if a majority of them, any of them can even read and write or can even assimilate information or even understand the position of the law on such a case of this nature. Now, to further make the matter look as if there was a reprisal attack, which is what I want the police to substantiate, a section of the Odionwe's house too was also set ablaze on that said day to make it look as if they burned my house, they burned Odionwe house. But however, it is now left for the police to carry out diligent investigation. But my disappointment in the police, and particularly the commissioner of police, is this: that as a Benin woman, as a mother, as a Benin woman, a daughter of the soil, she was supposed to be very professional and non-biased in her dealing to ensure that the real culprits were caught. Because as we speak, it is now a corridor of roses for the criminal bandits who parade themselves in the name of selling land as community boys, but criminals in hiding. It is not a safe haven for them to traverse from Okoma to Obazagbon to Obage. They have not turned that area now. In fact, people who live around there can attest to the fact that they live in fear. It is not just Emmanuel Agbogo is talking. They live in abject fear. I will go further to show you the picture of one of these boys that their houses were burnt. Because I said that in the early hours of my broadcast. I will do that right away now. It's really paining and disheartening that in a matter like this, the real killers are not the ones that have been arrested. They are out there, still saying that yes, we don't use money, we don't spend money, no level, no this one. But one thing is very sure, that they will continue to do this and do it and do it and do it again. So let me show you uh, 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 the pictures of this young man's house. Let me show it to you so you all can see. Hold on, please. Okay. Now this is Mr. Kennedy Ohio's house, which is the suspect and defendant in the charge. Is number 7 on the charge. Look at the charge here. I got a copy of it, so I'm not just talking. I've got a copy of which I will read the charge out for you people to ascertain what I'm saying. Now look at his house. Look at his house. This is Kennedy Ayo's residence. This is one of the people that have been alleged now, or have been in detention now, prison custody, and remanded to prison for murder. This is his house. The tenants in his house, everybody in his house was also robbed. His house was burgled.
These people are not willing to lock his sense. How did they do it?
This is the Kennedy's house. They went all in and they robbed everything that was inside the house. Carted away all the properties. This particular scene is very dark. They carted away all the properties. Now, this is the next man's house. Now, this is Joshua Ado's house that you almost have seen on ITV. You see? This is Joshua Ado's house that you all must have seen on ITV. This is Joshua Ado's house that you all must have seen on ITV. You can see how this is a clear case of arson. You can see how they burned down the full house. They burnt it down, burnt everything, both vehicles and everything in the house. You can see there. Now, I want you all to. This is This is the junction of where they were robbed. The Aboki people. These are some of the boys saying their own side of the story. All right, so that is it. Now, before all of this destruction started, from my own findings, I I discovered that in all they were saying in the course of majority of the Facebook, I saw some of the boys saying, making statements from the community who are against Joshua. They said Joshua sold the community town hall. That Joshua was the one who sold the community town hall. Now, upon finding this out, this matter, I bugged Joshua and I engaged him on a discussion for him to tell me what transpired as regards to the sales of town hall. Because for you to solve any problem, you must know the root cause of the crisis. Now, this was what Joshua had to say about the burning of the community town hall. Please, I want you all to listen very well.
Obazagbon. My boy saying he does send you to teach us. The ticket where I take data play, he wants to send her for you. So about the town hall you are saying, I just send the man number when he buy the town hall for you. One Mr. Fred, na Europe, abroad the day. Be like say na Germany, 90. Na him number be this week. We call and confirm from am to explain to you. So about the town hall, na one Mr. Amadi, na this Mr. Fred tell because if I get land for back of the town hall, when he hear, now Mr. Amadi tell am say the town hall dey market. Na the man come ask me. Now I say yes, Ojo will put up for market. So now, Ojo will with the elders. Now he said the town hall give this Mr. Fred. How can me as a youth say town hall for blessing? I go take get head. Near the elders and the Ojo will call the before me call carry town hall. Say give this Mr. Fred. Need to know false allegation wey they lay against me. Ojo way and elders. Now he negotiate with this man. Now he said this town hall for this Mr. Fred. I was there as a youth chairman of the community. I'm not the one that sold the town hall. Now John Way and the elders, I said the town hall for this Mr. Fred 30 million naira. Now Mr. Fred take buy am from there. This John Way, he gets person when he fit carry motor give am. That person come collect the motor from Odion Way for elders council. I was there that very day. I was with the elders council. Now I've never embarrassed my elders council one day. They are laying different allegations against me. Their God will judge. So after this man don't negotiate the tower with the Odion Way and elders finish, we do know. Now the way quoted the man say, if they find motive, now the man quoted and say yes, he get one GK. Then we come negotiate the GK with the man and the Odion Way. Now the man come carry the GK give Odion Way 11 million naira inside the 30 million. They go remain balance 19 million. 19 million. Odion Way give the elders 5 million. He gives we the youth 5 million. How much he go remain? 9 million. Now I can say this matter, it's not good. Other communities, they get town hall. This town hall, where Odion Way say with the elders, so Now me build am. Now me with the youth. Now he build am. Now me with the youth. Now he build toll gate with the Obazagbon. Now me with the youth. Now he build markets. The market is there. The toll gate is there. Now only this town hall now John will say with the elders to this Mr. Fred. Thank God this Mr. Fred is there alive. This Mr. Fred, now advanced person, not be small pikin. He go school. I go buy town hall from the chairman. He go leave the elders. Nobody wey dey throw away money for fire. Now deal way and the elders. Now he said the town hall. Since your deal way does speak, me as the youth chairman, I don't get right to talk because of deal way with the elders. Now they get a community. And this very man, so now two community, now for the do of John way, now the call man when you go rent youth, rent toys, rent boys, we feed Obazagbon and my house with the bomb my cars. Now that the same call man, so this of your way of Obazagbon, see the do of your way there. As they drag that place with Amamba community, we do know. Now so the behavior way they do there, now so it take carry and enter Obazagbon. So this of your way with this man, this so my father I fed it your way. And my father I fed it. This of your way so now this kind of way they fed do so. Now I still do about 11 years ago. We be say Oba cause suspend them. Now after 11 years when it comes, so now me still advise my papa, because my father was in fourth position. Now me still advise my father say, now as the day senior for community, and they take the carry of your way, me my papa drop. Now so both the elders and the old youth, I gather all of them. Plus my own father will go palace. Now Oba answer say, this thing with this man do so. Palace answer, this thing with this man do so. We don't forgive him. This bully Oba wanna so we don't forgive him. Now we say nothing you can do. Yes. Now the palace can say okay. More we go ask, more we go do the necessary things. You can go and confirm from the palace. More we go ask, go do the necessary things. If we don't do the necessary things, by the time the necessary things they go on, palace come say they go send chiefs come to come and explain land come out. That's why I take for another land come out.
Now, this conversation was very, very long. It's almost about 11 minutes. There are a lot of things I wouldn't want from this conversation to be out. I would just want to break it down here. As time goes on, I will also play the rest of the broadcast. Now, in all of their agitation, I've heard them saying this young man sold the town hall because this is the root cause of the problem. They are saying you gather mine, go sell our town hall. But from what I've gathered, the town hall was bought by one Mr. Fred. I've been trying to reach him on his mobile phone on WhatsApp. He has not been picking, but I think I wrote him a message and I'm expecting his response. Now, the town hall, he has said now that the Ojon way was, and the others were the ones who negotiated, that 30 million naira was taken, one GLK was also taken. Who is the GLK? Is it not the Ojon way that transacted the business? So why would you be blaming Joshua? The truth about it is that the whole of this tussle for power, I just want the public to be aware of how far myself I have gone independently. That was why I decided. I have a lot of voice tape, a voice recording, but I just want the public to know the extent to which I've got to know what is the root cause, because it is the issue of the town hall that was sold that made majority of the youth to rise up to say we don't want him anymore. But the people that actually transacted that town hall was the Ojon way and the others. The Ojon way even got a GLK from it for 11 million, and the remaining 19 million he gave youth 5 million. He gave others 5 million. The remaining 3 million he gave a breakdown of how the money was spent, which I will also play in the course of our broadcast. But let me quickly pinpoint an issue here. Is that the subject matter of why all of these things are happening is leadership of community. Efe that was killed is not a leadership matter that led to his death. It's as the result of the issue of the invasion of that community. The question to ask that I expected the police to have come out with is to tell us who invaded that community. Is to come out and tell Edo people and tell the Nigerian populace who actually invaded the community. What pained me most is that the DPO also came out to make some false statements, which I will be coming to that in a couple of days. But I will just throw more light. The DPO said in one of the conversations he had with one of the community youths that the person that was shot, that he rushed one of them to the hospital. He told one of the youths when they called on him on phone. Phone conversation cannot lie. If they investigate further, they will see how all of these things happened. That is why I'm calling on the Inspector General of Police, calling on the Commissioner of Police, calling on the Police Service Commission, because what they are turning Edo into, in a couple of months and weeks, if these people are not checkmated, if they are allowed to continuously have money and be with these guns, then they should prepare for more crime. They should prepare for more crime. At a time like this in Edo State, when we are seeing police getting very conducive equipment to work with, criminals of this magnitude are brewing. The governor just acquired a fleet of vehicles for the police and is also proposing to bring more. This is a time we should ordinarily enjoy policing and get balanced policing. And particularly when we have an Edo woman, a daughter of the soil. But what we are seeing is that the reverse is the case. Now, to the IPOs, I want the Inspector General and the Police Service Commission and the Police PRO, Edo State PRO to listen. They were investigating a murder case. They never visited the scene of crime. They never visited the scene of crime. They never carried out any preliminary investigation to ascertain what truly acquired from members of that vicinity. They just relied on the fact that people say Joshua and killed, then na Joshua go kill. Whereas they said Joshua was not in that place. Agreed. Though not conceding. All of these boys know criminals on both ends. They can mobilize touts, criminals. I have understood their way of operations. So that is why you see me checkmating them. If you go to Obazagbon, you will be shocked. They don't hide anymore. In fact, they even enjoy military protection. That is why when immediately after this shooting happened, they had a meeting in Pule's house. It was same people who had the meeting with Pule that saw one of my statements on the social media that called me and said that they were still going to procure the 4th Brigade to come and put a checking point there for them, where they will be paying them monthly, so that will serve as a cover for them. Because what they do in Obazagbon, each time when police come there, they run into Obayato, they run into Okoma. The moment the police is leaving, you see other persons and themselves being escorted by the military around the town. One will begin to ask, are we doing security work independently of other institutions? The police of Zone 5 and the Commissioner of Police declared Uyi and Malo wanted for multiple murder. But it is very laughable that this same Uyi and Malo were preparing orange bags to greet the Commissioner of Police when she resumed. It's on my wall. I made a statement about it. So it is so painful. It's so painful that these people, they seem not to have the fear of God. They seem not to have the wisdom to understand that when they have issues, they should approach the court. Uyi and Malo, they went to the state high court to file for fundamental right against me, that I myself, the Inspector General of Police, the Commissioner of Police, the AIG, and all that, that we are infringing on their fundamental human rights. They hired a lawyer to do that. I was expecting them to come to court so that they will come and explain to the Lord how I have been infringing on their rights, for coming out to condemn what they promote, what they do against humanity, because they want to be chairman. Over 4 persons have been murdered in that community in cold blood. Some of their corpses buried, and so that police cannot establish a case of murder. So all of these things that are currently happening, I want to believe that the police, particularly the Commissioner of Police, should know that it is on record that she is the first Benin woman to become a Commissioner of Police in Edo. And that why she would become the Commissioner of Police is also in an era that people are being killed, and the wrong persons, people who kill, are not being charged to court. The ones who did not kill, because they are victims, they are the ones in prison. It is crystal clear. If I take my time to read through the charges, which I will post, it's already on my wall, which I will post on the media any moment from now, you will weep. You will weep. That a police investigation will be saying that a man who was in Abuja, who was not in the scene of crime, was at the scene of crime. The question to ask, can a man be in 2 places at the same time? And when they do all of these things, they just pack it to give the state prosecution team a task to begin to go and defend what they don't know. I want to seize this broadcast at this junction. There are a lot of things I will say. There are a lot of things, a lot of information. I'm just throwing this so that those people saddle with the responsibility to do the right thing. As for the IPO, the 200,000, the 100,000, the 50,000 that you collected, be prepared to return that money. Be prepared to return that money. In fact, go and gather the money now to give to those boys, because you are extorting people that you say you yourself as an IPO, you know that charging those boys to court was a very wrong thing. They were insisting while in detention that you should take them to the scene of crime, which they refused. And even before charging them, they were supposed to be conducting a holistic interview before the authority, the police, and the Joshuas, to ascertain what truly transpired. I am not telling the authority now that the GAK over that town hall that they sold is still with the Odion way. 10 million naira was shared within the elders and the youth. 3 million naira was given to Joshua to go and procure another space for them to build a town hall, which had already commenced. The other monies were given to lawyers who are doing cases for them. If all of these things are lies, let them ask. Let them ask. Let them ask. So this is where I want to draw this broadcast close. I believe the Edo State Police Command knows that what these IPOs have done. And for all those people who also took side to prepare this kind of charge against innocent people, do not forget that someday you might be driving in that your car you have collected money to go and jail innocent boys for. These boys with AK-47 will still block you. They will still block you, because now that you are in government, now that you are in the authority, for you to ensure that you nip them on the board and put a stop to it. Everybody, you want to collect. Now it's all about collection. Who can bring? Who can bring? Who can bring? Justice is no more. And I want to end this broadcast by letting CBN, Mopai, I want to let you know, I thought you were a very responsible man, but from what I have discovered, you are one of the root cause of these ammunitions in Edo State. And I will come out to let the government know that you must be arrested. Whether you are a former director of CBN or not, I don't give a fuck. Look at those small children. Look at Azuka's children. Look at Azuka's children. The two of them, those two children, they are fatherless for life. Their father's body is decomposing in one side of Obage because Uyi Amalo wants to be chairman. I rest my case for now. For those of you who have been commenting positive and negatively, I leave each and every one of you to your fate. And I will continue to say it. For those people who have also said Joshua took their lands, even if I'm advocating for Joshua now, bring the land matter up. If you want to get your land back or your money back, I will collect it for you. Because this madness and this insanity must come to an end. They are turning Edo State into a banana republic. This one today, that one tomorrow. In fact, they have reduced the respect for Benin Kingdom by way of instituting all forms of criminality because they want to sell land. How many of them have used the process of this land to do something good? It's a discussion for another day. But for now, Madam CP, I want to beg you, please retrace your step. What you are doing currently in the state is not policing. Please retrace your step. Thank you and bye for now.
Now we don't hear from Emmanuel Agbogun. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things where they happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share them. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.